Okay, chalo, let's start. Now, so we have seen waterfall is something which is sequential in nature, and the Scrum, which follows the Agile, is overlapping in nature, right? So rather than doing all of one thing at a time, what does Scrum teams do a little of everything all the time. It's very nicely, beautifully, the statement is written, right? Yeah, design, code, and test. The Scrum team repeat the cycle for the number of iteration, number of sprint, right? So again, we have discussed no changes are allowed during the sprint. Okay. Then Scrum framework we have discussed, that is its content, different roles like product owner, Scrum Master, Scrum team, different ceremonies we are having, sprint planning, sprint review, sprint retrospective, daily Scrum meeting, and artifacts. Artifacts is something I have already told you the example of artifact. Like you did the project, okay, but what is the artifact of that project? It's a virtual thing. You did the project, so your report, your paper will say that you did the project. So product backlog, product owner will tell, I finished with the communication phase, I did the meeting. What are the artifacts of that process? So the product backlog, after, like, once the communication is finished, what product owner will do? Product owner will try to write the epic, then break down the epic into number of stories, and number of stories are nothing but the features that requirement that needs to get implemented in the product, right? So that stories the product owner is going to put in the product backlog, and it's not only just putting, prioritizing, right? Then sprint backlog and burn down chart, this we are going to see in detail, right? We are going to see that in detail. The next thing is product, like we have started with the different role, product owner. We have discussed the responsibility of product owner. Like product owner is responsible for defining, like, you can imagine customer is coming, like the meeting will be there, uh, customer, then your, like in case of Zomato, okay, Zomato ka product owner, whom they have must called for the meeting, the very first meeting, to discuss about what should be there into the product. So of course they will be calling the people like us who will be ordering the food, some sample customer and some sample restaurant managers, see restaurant owners, right? um, so they will be calling, they will be telling, these are our requirements, just work on the same, right? So once they will be telling in very raw language, okay, it's not the technical language, not necessary the software solution you are providing is to the one who is very technocrat. So okay, it's not the case. They may belong to non-technical background, so they will be telling their problem in their own language, but it's your responsibility, try to understand it, try to map it with the technicality, right? You have to check feasibility, whether whatever the customer is asking, whether it's feasible, possible, cost efficient, all the. So then after doing all this exercise, the product owner will define the features of the product, then make scope versus schedule decision, right? So scope also something which we have to decide, like what different features we will be able to deliver, 1 2 3 4. Multiple features can be can be there in a single product, okay, but what is, like, we have to restrict ourselves with number of features that we are going to provide with this product. Again, schedule, we just can't go on developing the project for very longer duration. There must be schedule. First iteration may what you will be going to deliver, in second iteration what you will be going to deliver, and responsible for achieving financial goals of the project, okay. Cost estimation, basically product owner is the one You can imagine if something like estimation went wrong, it's a mistake of the product owner. पूरा project हो गया, deliver हो गया, and then like he comes to know about like we are in the loss. Okay, return on investment is not the at the higher side, it is at the lower side, it's the downside. So who is the responsible for this? Who is answerable for this question? So product owner is answerable by CEO of that company. Like it's your mistake, right? Like team members will not like no one will ask to the team members. No one will ask to the Scrum Master. So the CEO will ask for the product owner. Like you did the wrong estimation. So it's a financial goal. Achieving the financial goal is something, it's a responsibility on the product owner's shoulders. Prioritize the product backlog. As a Zomato product owner, I can't just think of delivering this simulation wala, like real time tracking of delivery, giving as a first priority. The core product is all about first customer should able to place the order. The restaurant people should be able to take the order. That is that features should we have to consider first as a core product, and that should consider like highest priority given to them. Then adjust the features and priority every sprint as needed. Like when you are proceeding, like the project development is getting done, it's in the progress. In between, you will come to know there should be silent change in the priority of the features which we need to get delivered. So you after every sprint, it's a product owner call to change the priority of remaining features. And whatever your team, the Scrum team is doing, whether to that accept or reject word is again the call of the product owner, right? Because ultimately he is answerable for that particular product. Then comes the Scrum Master. So Scrum Master is something which is like first of all what we will do, we will discuss about the team, and then we will go back to the Scrum Master, the role of Scrum Master. So team, in the last lecture also we discussed that the team, Scrum team is one who is responsible for uh, development activity, right? Development in the sense like program or test programming, testing, user experience designer, etc. So you have to consider this is the team, okay? And now this team will like input to this team will be the product owner, Scrum Master will tell the team this is your task, okay? Product backlog, this is your sprint backlog. That is one input. What task they need to carry it out. These are the stories, these are the 4 stories which you are which as a team you are supposed to clear out within this sprint cycle. Like duration is also communicated to team, like 2 weeks. These 4 stories you are supposed to clear out in the time period of 2 weeks, okay? That is getting communicated to the team members. So then it's team members call, okay? Who will do what, right? No one will tell the team members from team member the X person should do the development, the Y person should do the programming. No, it's a self-organizing team, okay? Team itself decide how they are going to clear out this 4 backlog, how they are going to implement that 4 features. And it's a team call. If it is not deliverable at the end, then who is responsible? Not a single person is responsible for answering why it is not getting delivered. So there they can't say that it's programmers mistake, it's program due to the tester, the sprint is getting delay. No, as a team you can't say that. So better way, you should have very strong collaboration amongst you, so that whatever challenge, this is a challenge, like you are committing, like we are committed to clear out these 4 stories within the sprint cycle, right? So you as a team you are committed to do that. If you are not if it's not done, then as a team, as a complete team, no matter whose fault it is, you as a team are responsible, answerable to this delays, okay? And whatever the consequence will be there, you as a team have to face that. So that is the thing. So this team is very self-organizing team. That is one of the great feature of this Scrum. we can say they are self decide who is going to, how they are basically they are going to clear out this core story, who will do the task of programming, who will do the task of testing and all the stuff. The team will decide. And the next thing is that it's a cross functional team, like it's not having just a waterfall. May we have seen we have very specialized team, like one planning team, then communication, then modeling, construction, and then deployment. So separate team was there, but here only one team with the different skill set person, cross functional. That is the beauty of Scrum. Here we are having cross functional team, and this team is typically of 5 to 9 people. Like it's not very huge team, right? 5 to 9, in the range of 5 to, depending on your project. Sprint duration is also 2 to 4 weeks, right? So again, one important thing is that if any members want to change, it's not allowed. When once the sprint is getting started, the changes are not allowed, right? Membership also can't be changed in between the sprint. But after sprint, if any serious problems were you are facing, you will be allowed to change the team, your sprint team. But it is at the end, okay, not in between the when the sprint is in the running mode. So this is the sprint team, and this is the one who is actually doing the groundwork, okay, who is actually implementing the product, okay, features. Then the Scrum Master, we are talking about the Scrum Master. So Scrum Master, of course the name itself indicates who will master the Scrum team, right? In what kind, mastering the Scrum team in what kind, okay. So this is responsible for, Scrum Master is responsible for encacting Scrum values and the practices, okay. So I will tell you what are the Scrum value: courage, the then courage is one of the like value of the Scrum. Then commitment, right? You are committed to clear out that stories. Courage, uh, you are as a Scrum team, you are, the Scrum is very courageous, right? You are committing to deliver, clear out this particular stories in particular time. So for that, the courage is required. Committed. Then you are having respect. Respect is one of the Scrum value. Your like product owner and the Scrum Master and the members will have respect for each other, okay. Like no one will ask why did it didn't happen, or no one, the Scrum team is not waiting for just instruction, they know their responsibility, right? So the respect is one of the Scrum values. So the Scrum Master is responsible for the same. Then remove impediments, okay. So if any the difficulties, if are there any hurdles are there in the path of clearing out that particular sprint, okay, so it's a role of Scrum Master to remove that hurdles. Then coaches the team to their best possible performance, right? He is like a coach, right? If you take a coach of any game, say cricket, okay, so the coach is the one who will decide how my team can give the best performance. If anything is, any changes are required, the coach is one who will suggest that changes, okay, to the captain, right? In this case, Scrum team may one may be like the team leader may be there, but again a leader is something who will not just give the instruction, it just handle that coordination, that's it. It's not a boss kind of thing. The leader is something which just leading that particular task, just coordinating that task. And coach may suggest few changes to the suggestion is very important. Coach cannot instruct the team, okay, it can just suggest some like changes so that the team will give the best performance, right? Coaches the team to their best possible performance, helps improve team productivity in any ways possible, and enable close cooperation across all roles and the functions. You can imagine Scrum Master is one. If Scrum team is finding any difficulty, like unme se ek do member they are not feeling well, they wanted to go on to the sick leave, so whom they will they will tell. So it's a Scrum Master, they will communicate the same to the Scrum Master, then Scrum Master may come up with the solution replacement. But if it is not possible at his level, then he may convey that problem to the product owner that way. So it's a mediator between the Scrum team and the outside, and he is the one who is responsible to cover, to shield the team from the external interference. Because you can see, whenever you are on the sprint cycle, you are on the fire, okay, because you are committed to clear out that particular challenges, particular stories which is there into the sprint backlog in that particular period only, sprint cycle only. And if not, you are answerable to the question for the delay, right? Why it is not happening. So you need to focus is very important here. So Scrum Master will always try to keep their team on to the right track, or like towards the goal, okay. So he will shield the team from the external interference. So these are the, like, in the Scrum framework rules we have discussed. Then now let's talk about the sprint ceremony. So we are having sprint planning, sprint review, sprint retrospective, daily Scrum meetings. We are having sprint planning meeting, right? You can think of sprint planning meeting. First, product owner, customer, product owner had a meeting with customer and other stakeholder of that product. They have written the, like, product owner has written the epic for the same, okay. Then epic, he has break it down into number of stories, is nothing but the features which need to get implemented for that product. That stories he has prioritized and putted that stories into the product backlog. Now it's time to break it down, that product backlog number of stories, into smaller parts, right? Smaller parts in the sense, sprint planning you have to do, like the complete product backlog you will be trying to clear out in how many sprints? 2 sprint, 3 sprint. If product backlog contain say 12 stories, so whether you will be breaking it down into 2 sprint, 6 story in first sprint, 6 stories into the second sprint, or you are breaking it down into say three sprint, like 4 in each sprint. 4 threes are 12, okay. 3 sprint cycle will require, every sprint contain 4 stories. But while you are just breaking it down into number of sprint, what you have to consider, you have to be very much sure that after every sprint, something is shippable product is in your hand that you can deliver to the end user. That is must, okay. That way you have to break it down. We have discussed about the scientific calculator, right? How you will be planning. So in the first sprint, you may think of deploying arithmetic function. In the second sprint, you may think about deploying logarithmic function. In the third sprint, you may think about trigonometric function, and the last sprint contain rest all function. And after last sprint, the complete product is getting deployed. That way you have to plan your sprint, right? So sprint planning meeting, who all are called in the sprint planning meeting? So Scrum, of course, the Scrum team will be there. Why it is so? Because this is the one who are actually uh, developing that, okay. So Scrum team, Scrum Master, and the product owner will called for this meeting. What is agenda for this meeting? Sprint planning meeting. Now it's a planning, we are planning, right? And once the plan is done, we will follow that plan, and at then if you follow that plan, you will have that sprint sprint क्या बोलेंगे, sprint release you can have. So what is agenda for this meeting? Discuss top priority product backlog items. Team select which to do. Right. So यहाँ पे agenda रहता है कि like product owner has given the priority to the product backlog item. So he will discuss that priority in front of the team and the Scrum Master. Then it's Scrum team's call कि इसमें से now the picture is clear to them कि these are the highest priority backlog stories which we need to clear out. So team will give their call, like with which they will start with the sprint, okay. Priority को देख के they will just select the stories which they want to clear out. and that is something called as the whichever they are just taking out, it is called as, it will get put, we will put that into the sprint backlog, okay, whatever, because the this is the thing, okay, the forcing mechanism you will not observe in the Scrum and the Agile. It is selection, right? So the team will select कि they wanted, because product owner ने priority decide किया, but the team is the one who knows the technical difficulty and technicality, right? जैसे team knows कि no, even though priority is given, first we have to create registration form, then we will be able to create login, and then we will be able to place the order. So that way the story should be there, right? So they will decide the flows of their stories, uh, they are going to clear out by their own, and that is something which will get putted into the sprint backlog. And at the beginning they will decide the sprint goal, what they are going to do, like goal क्या है उनका, ये particular sprint का goal क्या है. जैसे for Zomato you can think of, जैसे the first sprint goal can be, the sprint team can decide कि what we will do, we will try to finish out the, in first sprint we will try to cover the uh, customer metaphor, customer interface, okay. In second sprint we will try to cover the restaurant people metaphor or the interface. In the third sprint we will try to cover out the simulation, right? Real-time simulation, tracking of the product delivery. That way goal will be decided. According to the goal, the stories will get put into that sprint to clear out that goal, to achieve that goal. The stories will be put into the sprint backlog. And why this meeting is there? So know what will be work on and understand it enough to do it, right? ये दो चीजें हमें, like we are getting clear with this meeting. What मतलब क्या करने वाले हमें, वो सभी को पता चलेगा, like this is the product which for which we are here, and how we are proceeding with this product, right? Product, and understand it is enough to do it, like हमको समझ में आएगा. Every, like you can imagine एक दो sprint हो गए, right? So third sprint will give you, second sprint will give you eye opening कि हमने पहले दो sprint में we have covered very less features. Now really we need to speed up and we need to cover more stories to achieve the deadline. So that way the sprint planning is helping you. So what you are doing in the sprint planning, team select items from the product backlog they can commit to completing, right? So product backlog is filled by the product owner. Product owner will discuss the priorities of product backlog items, and from that the team will select the stories which they are going to clear out in that particular sprint. So basically sprint backlog is created, then tasks are identified, and each is estimation. Estimation is something which will be done by the team only, because team को करना है. Product owner can't say that कि इसको कितना time लगेगा, how many hours it will require to clear it out. So it is that the team who will tell कि इसको ये task को clear करने के लिए, ये story को clear करने के लिए कितने hours लगने वाले, and the estimation is between 1 to 16 hours. उसके हिसाब से ही story लिखा जाता है, right? Collaboratively, not done alone by the Scrum Master. Scrum Master नहीं, अकेला नहीं decide करता कि हर एक story को कितना time लगने वाला है. It's a call of team. Collaboratively, Scrum Master along with his team will give the estimation. Okay. Then high level design is considered. Now consider this is one story. As a vacation planner, I want to see photos of the hotels. So some kind of hotel management system is there, okay, application or software is there. The story was written as a vacation planner, I want to see photos of the hotel. This was the story is written by the product owner. So how the team will break it down into number of tasks, that code the middle tier requires 8 hours, code the user interface require 4 hours, write the text fixtures require 4 hours, code the foo class require 6 hours, update the performance test require 4 hours. This is just example, okay, this is not real thing, okay. Don't get confused, it's not the It's just an example, okay? So in this way, the Scrum team is just estimating the things, okay? Now next thing is daily Scrum meeting. Very funny picture is there, right? Daily Scrum meeting. So just observe this slide for 2 minutes. Okay, a daily Scrum meeting. So what are the parameters for daily Scrum meeting? So it should happen daily, and it's of only 15 minutes, and it is stand-up meeting. Then it's not for the problem solving, okay? So for what purpose it is called? So whole world is invited. What do you mean by whole world? So invited, it's not mandatory for all to join. Customer can be called for this meeting. Product owner, CEO of company can call for this meeting. All the stakeholders can call for this meeting, but it's invited. It's not mandatory for them to be present there, but only team members, Scrum Master, product owner can talk. Even though CEO or customer wish to attend that meeting, they are there into the meeting, but uh, they are not allowed to talk, okay? It's between who can talk, only the Scrum Master, product owner, and the team members can talk only. And it helps to avoid the other unnecessary meeting. So what is the reason behind meeting daily? You can imagine, uh, like, the team, as a team you have been assigned with some particular goal, okay, particular backlogs. This say 4 stories which is there into sprint backlog. You as a team are supposed to clear it out, and if not, you are answerable to the questions, right? And it may lead to various actions further. So it's a very we can say, so you have to be as a team. You can imagine, if in your team, if any one of the member is not working hard, or he is not giving his 100%, the team has to suffer, and all the team, even though you can't say at the end, this guy is not giving 100%, right? You can raise this problem in Delhi Scrum meeting, and maybe Scrum Master and product owner will come up with a solution. But you can't just uh, tell this as a reason at the end when you are not achieving the target. So that is the reason Delhi Scrum meeting, where you can talk about this. Again, you have to be updated every day, because ultimately you are on the fire for this 2 to 3 weeks, whatever sprint cycle duration you are having, and each and every day is very important for you. So every day you try to stay updated about the teamwork, about like the progress of your sprint. That's why you are just here, like no high tea break will be there. Like it's a stand-up meeting. Daily you are meeting, and what you are going to discuss. So what everyone answer 3 questions. What did you do yesterday? कल क्या किया? What will you do today? आज क्या करोगे? Is anything in your way? Are you finding any difficulty? And these are not the status for the Scrum Master. It is not the way we are answering to the boss. We are answerable to the boss. Or as a team, we are answering to the Scrum Master, or we are answering to the product owner. No, we are answering to the peers, because if my work is not at the level, if if I am not giving 100%, my peers has to uh, bear that failure. So I am committed in front of peers, my peers, okay, teamwork. So that is the logic behind the daily scrum meeting. Then comes sprint review meeting. So sprint review meeting is something which is once you